Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crockett Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. I got the Queen, Demetra K. And the money man, Walter Couture. And I ain't the 5-star general. Say, man, we went in on it last night. We're going to finish it tonight. Niggerism. Because y'all playing, man. And I saw a whole bunch of it today. We're going to talk about it. Let's get to it. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you. Because you are the best audience in the world. And without y'all, we wouldn't have a show. And I want to apologize. It wasn't them that was late. It was me. I was asleep. I'm on that good dope from the hospital. And when you're on that good dope, sometimes you just can't wake up from it. You know, I was on that Ray Charles today, man. I was on that morphine today. I was on that Ray Charles today. So just forgive me. In my line of the world, the news is the South Lawn giveaway been pushed back by 1 day because of the possibility that it may be bad weather. So we're gonna go out there Sunday. We're gonna go to South Lawn at 10 a.m. I've already talked to City Councilwoman Carolyn Shabazz, the good Dr. Muhammad. I mean, we rocking. We going out there Sunday at 10 a.m. And we even going to the jailhouse apartments, Wesley Square. You know, you use real when you name your apartment the jailhouse apartment. So tomorrow is the big day in the Houston Independent School District because they will name the lone finalists for the new superintendent. And the only thing I can tell y'all, man, they finna drop the soap on this one. They finna drop the soap on this one. You got rid of a dime piece and finna bring in 2 pennies. We gonna find out tomorrow. Donovan, what's happening, my friend?
Goodness, you guys, welcome to the Thursday edition of the War Zone. This is the money edition. So if you're going to watch the show at any time, I think this is the day that you should watch it if you're going to watch the show at all. What do we tell y'all, folks? As you guys know, on the national level, your president, the guy that you voted in that was going to just save racism and get rid of it and all that stuff, he signed into law today the anti-Asian hate bill that comes with a lot of money that's going to be redirected to them because they are a now protected class. Now, here's my question, and this is what really bothers me about it. With 8% of their population, with maybe 10 people in the whole Congress that represents them, they were able to get a bill pushed and signed into law in less than 90 days on a bullshit platform of blacks attacking Asians. But they got it done. But we constantly hear from the civil rights era and the black boule, oh, see, y'all don't know politics. See, you got to have numbers. And that's why they can't pass anything because, you know, we got to get a majority. Until we build a majority, you know, we can't really get anything. So we can't be, you know, we can't be pushing the boss. You know, we got to have numbers. Explain this. Explain this. We are double in numbers. We have 2/3 more representation in Congress. We put Joe Biden in the damn office. George Floyd was killed about a year ago. And yet the bill for George Floyd, symbolic bill for George Floyd, can't even pass the Congress. But overwhelmingly, Republicans and Democrats passed this Asian hate bill. What does that tell you? And I don't want to be the one that says, I told you so, but all of us told you so. Demetra?
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday night edition of the War Zone. Thank you for being here. If y'all could do us a favor, share this live so everybody else can get the information and join in on the conversation. We would greatly appreciate it. As you see, we have Walter the Money Man in the building, and we are going to continue our discussion that had my stomach hurting last night, called niggerisms. Excuse the term, but it is what it is tonight, right? So Gary's going to lead it off, but Donovan, just really quick, the Asians have what we don't have, and that's unity. So, Gary?
Yeah, well, they got what they wanted when they got Joe. They got exactly what they asked for. So he's protected them and left us out here to be shot and beat up by the police, just like Ronald Green was up in Shreveport. You know I mean, that's how it go. We ain't gonna get protected. What they did to Ronald Green, them dudes should get the death penalty. But of course, there's qualified immunity, so they gonna let them make it anyway. Oh, by the way, y'all, I meant to tell y'all, guilty on all counts. Little girl that killed Melanie Lyons. Welcome to the big girl world, partner. Your other two friends, y'all next. Y'all next. So they got them. So, we'll find out the sentence, but, they juvenile, so it ain't going to be that much. But they got the max. So if they were adults, they'd have got the max too. So, yeah, I mean, we started last night, Walter. You see how elegant Walter looks when he sits up there? Ain't nothing wrong with what he doing, because Walter ain't going to guide you wrong. He ain't going to do nothing to violate the law. But I can't say the same for some of y'all out there. And I mean, I've been sitting back all day, minus the Ray Charles juice I was on. And I just thought about y'all and some of the shit that y'all be doing. I mean, you go to the buffet to get you something to eat. And all of a sudden you see this motherfucker with a purse full of napkins. Because you finna take all the buffet food home. Niggerism. Eat the food there and go about your business. But that's what we do. I bet then you're going to blame that on white supremacy when they catch you. Especially at the Chinese buffet. When you take no food. Oh, them motherfucker hell. And then you're going to be tripping talking about the white man did it to you. No, you should have left them napkins at home. See, it's some things that you shouldn't do that y'all be doing, and then you want to blame it on everybody else. That's why Walter is here, and it is what it is. And I want to start off, Walter, and I know this it's about money. Explain to me the finer points of niggerism with these PPE loans for these people who ain't got no businesses that think them feds gonna let them make.
Y'all want to hold hands in a moment of prayer, because I know that we need to do that to move ahead. Oh man. It's funny. I just jumped off of a podcast and we were kind of talking about the same thing. You guys, first of all, when it comes to PP loans and all that stuff, like in order to get a PP loan, you needed to have self-employment income in 2019. So there's some people that took the loans and maybe they weren't due, and they're not really messing with people that made mistakes. But the people that just ain't ever had nothing, ain't even ever filed a tax return, out to claim the PPP loan, sooner or later they're going to consolidate your tax return, and you're going to have a problem. And that's going to be all kinds of stuff. But the one thing, while we're talking about niggism, I guess that's the term we call it tonight. And I hate that word. I use it like sporadically, but unfortunately, it's the word that's going around.
It's real. It's real, though. It's real.
I mean, you guys, so it's not necessarily, it's just, I think we need to start over. If it were up to me, I would take, I'm going to use your term. It's not a term I use all the time. The niggas, as you calling it. Put them in the room and light the shit on fire. Kentucky Fried Nigga.
But that's what I be thinking. People be acting like I'm crazy. I say, man, they ought to build a big giant bucket and put them all in the bucket and just blow it up.
My sign would say, we do niggas right. I mean, damn. This should not be funny, but it is, and we keep dealing with it over and over and over. There's got to become a point in time where we say we are the supreme race. We deserve better. And yeah, I get it. The whole slavery, Jim Crow, that shit worked. It did. It did what it was supposed to do. But at this point, we have the ability to move forward. I was explaining to a lady. She goes, well, black people, we talk about, we can't get over it because of the white man in our past. I said, I seem to be doing okay. I'm not Rich Roland yet, but I'm doing all right. I'm not Donovan over there sitting there chilling with cash, with free cash flow, but I'm okay. Any one of us, I don't know why I was thinking about Gladys Knight, but any one of us can move to the next level. Do you know what I'm saying? But we have to look at ourselves and go, I am a king, I am a queen. I'm going to act that way. When you start there, there's things that you won't do, right? And we've all made mistakes. But when you say I am royalty, what does a royal person do? Like, I'll give you an idea. What I do is when I get dressed and when I do things, I go, would Barack Obama wear this suit? Now, I'm not talking about Democrat or Republican, because, you know, everyone knows me, knows I'm a Republican. I did vote for Obama. Next subject. But I go, would Obama wear this suit? Would Obama drive in this car? Would he have chips and shit in the car? Would Obama's bank account look like this? This is, you know, once he became president, because he talks about his student loans and all this drama. But like, or you pick your figure, would that person behave this way? And once we start doing that, I think a lot of the stuff that we're doing would disappear. And our black leaders first of all, black people don't have black leaders. There's no black leaders, not the way we think about them. Like Malcolm and Marcus, those guys are done. And y'all didn't want to hear shit Malcolm and Marcus had to say. Y'all want to listen to the swing low Negroes that turn the other cheek. And like we went from one master to another. We ain't gonna be shit until we grab control of our situation.
Well, let me ask you a question, y'all two down at the bottom. Now, the man say they're gonna consolidate their tax returns, and then they're gonna come and knock it for them with the PPE loan. How smart are you to say you made a mistake in filling out the whole application when you ain't had no business? It's some folk right now just waking up. Man, those motherfuckers late coming on the show. But dog, you been asleep all day. Your old lady just walk in the aisle. And you mad because ain't nothing cooked. You see what I'm saying? Dude, we got to change, you know, the things that we doing. And I appreciate that Brad McBride. He said, I'm a white man and I hate the N-word. I'm from the north side of Lafayette, Louisiana, and was known as white chocolate back in the day. And I really hate the N-word. I can respect that. Some people do. But just know that niggerism exists. It exists, man. Well, you know, how you gonna steal a goddamn car, run from the police, but you ain't put no motherfucking gas in it?
Well,
that's what they do.
Yeah. We need to get to the point where we move past this and very fast. Black people, we are on the endangered list. I told somebody this on the last thing I do. Black people, it's a wrap for us. You understand? Like, think about this. George Floyd was murdered on television. Like, hey, dun 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 dun. Here come Jim Michaels and Troy Aikman. Today we got Kill a Nigga Hour. We're gonna sit on this nigga's neck for 8 hours and 46 minutes and dare you niggas to do something about it. Because you ain't got no money. Y'all spend your money on shoes. Y'all don't have no businesses. Your kids don't know a goddamn thing when it comes to money. We gonna kill this nigga and you ain't gonna do shit about it. You're gonna get in the street and you dumb motherfuckers, you're gonna tear up your own shit. When you got people doing that, you can do whatever you want to do. Like I told people, I said, man, listen, I don't care who you vote for. Make sure you get something. Joe Biden was getting his ass whooped by Jeffrey King or Yang, whatever his name was. He was getting whooped by the business owner. Everybody was whooping Joe's ass. Here come the black people. We'll save you, Joe. And look, you ain't got nothing. And the Asians, and I know you said there was 8 of them that got hurt, which I think is crazy. Because I have Asian friends. I'm like, do you feel Asian hate? You're like, Asian what? None of my Asian friends ever talk about Asian hate. None of them. Not one of them talks about getting pulled over by the police and being worried. Those of you who know me know that my girlfriend is Filipino. And I had to tell her, shut the hell up when we got pulled over one time. Are you losing your goddamn mind? Like, seriously? She's like, officer, why you pull us over? He ain't doing nothing. She was going off. I was like, see, Asians don't understand what we go through. They have no idea. So I watched this Asian bill get passed. You know why it got passed? Because their constituents are moving the bucket. They're like, you get this passed or your ass is out. Black people forever from the beginning of time do not vote with their money. They don't vote with their money and they don't use their money for common sense. We should not still be talking about Gucci bags, Gucci shoes. It's okay to have Gucci, but make sure you have something to support it. I mean, like, and our self-esteem is not tied up in material things. So, and it's too late for us, really, honestly. Like, when I saw that Asian bill passed, where they had an Asian dude on the subway getting knocked the hell out for whatever was going on, I'm thinking, and I know that there was more to it, but that was the catalyst. And they kept showing it over and over and over. I'm like, first of all, you on the subway in New York, there's a good chance you're going to get choked out anyways. I don't care what race you are.
Well, he called the brother the N-word. So it was some Asians on there say he called him the N-word. So that's why he got knocked out. But they didn't tell that part of it until black media kept the pressure on, like, yo, you guys are being disingenuous. Y'all not telling the full story. This man called the brother the N-word. So that's why he got the hands.
But I mean, even so, even if he didn't call him the N-word, even if the black dude just knocked the Asian dude out, that's just crime. It's not a racial thing. It's just crime. Because black men do that to each other all goddamn day. Beat each other up. I don't see no media. How many times, black people, do we need to be reminded that we ain't shit? And it ain't that we ain't shit because we're not. It's because we don't treat ourselves. Black lives don't matter. That's what we keep telling ourselves. Period. You know what matters? Black money. Black money matters. Fuck black lives. I tell you what, if I'm a billionaire and I kill my white wife and it's questionable, there's a good chance I'm getting away with it. Period. Because I'm rich. Teddy Kennedy was on a date. Chick falls off the bridge, doesn't report, hey, I'm with this chick, and I showed up, got home, she wasn't in the car, they found her in the bridge. The motherfucker died a senator. Excuse my French. I'm enjoying this niggaism too much, I guess. But like, do not tell me that money doesn't matter. Black money matters. Eddie Murphy, all the shit he went through, Eddie Murphy got caught in the car with a transvestite. Not that Eddie was gay, right? And if that's his business, right? Eddie, he's a grown-ass man. Him and Johnny Gill could kick it in the elevator, do what they go do. He can do whatever he wants. But he got pulled. If I got pulled over and when I was soliciting a transvestite, my career would be over. But Eddie is rich. And people all got over it, or he's a successful brother, blah, blah, blah. When you have money, hey, what's up, Alabama? I'm coming in 3 weeks. Fun Shores is on the map, baby. So, do you realize that Alabama Fun Shores is the #1 income margin per capita on Airbnb? I'm just saying. Anyways, so I'm coming. I'll see you, Kurt. So, listen, you guys. We have to get to the point where money is everything. Because when you have money, for the most part, you'll act better. Not all the time, but, and especially if you earn the money. If you just got money, lottery, you got the money through some other means, and maybe you don't behave the way. But somebody that's gone through the work of building wealth, they tend to act like they have some sense. And I think that's like people, we have something to lose. We're less likely to do wild shit. We're less likely to run a red light. We're less likely to beat our girlfriend up. Or like I'm not going and burning down a Target, and I got investments, kids, family. I got things I care about. I'm not over there burning down a Target. I guarantee you'd be hard-pressed to find a financially independent black man or woman burning down a goddamn Target during the riots. Good luck finding that. It's people without shit. Because people with stuff are less likely to go burn something down, right? No justice, no peace doesn't mean throw a piece of rock through a piece of glass. That's not what that means. You know what I'm saying? It's unrest, isn't destruction. And if you're going to destroy some stuff, go to the people, destroy the people that are hurting us. Don't go destroy ourselves. So, I mean, we can talk all night about this, but this whole thing, and I want to address this, and I might get in trouble for this, but black people, we have to treat each other better. I always complain when I see a brother in the street, I'm like, what's up? And most of the time they look at me like I'm crazy. What the fuck is wrong with our people? Why can't even say what's up to a dude and he say what's up back? Like, what happened to us? Forget what happened.
Because we feel like I think as a people, we feel like if we acknowledge, let's say that's, you know what I mean, you're walking down the street, you say hi to me, I might feel like, well, if I acknowledge him, then in some ways I'm acknowledging he's better than me. So, you know, I'm just not going to speak to him. I need to keep him subjugated, even though I've never met this man. I won't even render him a hello. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, we're doomed. Our race is fucked. It's a wrap. It's over. Cancel Christmas. Come back as an Asian, Puerto Rican, Haitian, or some other shit. Black people, the race is dead. And here's why I'm telling you this. Because we don't treat it that way. We don't. If you leave your kids outside in the street, sooner or later they're going to get hit. We need to grab our race and bring it inside and treat it like it's better. Like, there are white people that have more passion for our race than we do. I have white friends that are like, oh my God, how do you guys call yourself nigger? We don't walk around calling ourselves the honky. Like, because we don't care about ourselves. And I know we say it sometimes as a joke.
Well, they got to also remember, too, you know, as Farrakhan say, we didn't create the nigga, they did. So that would be good for them to know as well.
Yeah, but sometimes we need to do what white people have done. We need to separate our past from our future. I have friends that aren't black, and they truly are like empathetic. But like one of my boy, he's like, I can't do anything about my pops.
Well, explain that. Explain separate. Let me quit playing with this hair. Explain separate my past from my future as black people. What do you mean by that?
Like, for instance, my grandfather raped a lady, and he dragged her through the mud, and he cut her toes off, and he killed a bitch. That is not my problem. I didn't do that.
Okay, so let me ask you this though, because while you're 120,000% right that sin does not belong to the person now, but how do you deal with systemic and institutional racism as it still goes on? Hence, talking about black people still being murdered wholesale in the middle of the street. I mean, just in every way you can think of, and like, white people today may not have been responsible directly for slavery. They're still benefiting from the institution of slavery. So why do we always have to forget or divorce ourselves from our past, but they don't get to do it?
Well, when I say divorce from our past or separate, what I mean is we need to move forward. Nothing is going to change systemic racism. That is never going to change. Only thing is now we see it more. We didn't understand it in the 60s, 70s, and 80s the way we do now. But now we see it. And we see it, and we're still not doing shit about it. We're not doing anything. I just see people marching in the street or tearing down stuff or going to Capitol Hill when they pass this Asian bill, when black people still don't even have reparations.
Or tearing up the child support office.
Yeah, and for the country we built, like, you guys, when I say separate from the past, I mean we need to move on. Jim Crow was there. The powers that be, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, whoever it is, they are not going to change their ways.
Well, let's just talk about this really quick, because you know the issue of reparations is obviously to pay for what they did to our ancestors, but it will take us 232 years to catch up to the wealth of white people. And that is largely due in part to the labor that they stole from our ancestors and the continued systemic and institutional racism. So while some of the wealth gap does belong to us, the majority of it does not belong to us due to us and our people being robbed of all of that wealth. So how do you address that?
Well, we were robbed of it, but we can't get it back doing what we're doing. And they're not going to give it back. You guys, Black people put Joe Biden in office. We have a Black woman as vice president, and Black people have nothing politically to gain. We've gotten nothing. Asians, who I don't know any Asians that worry about Asian hate. During the pandemic, yeah, they got a few stares and da-da-da-da-da, but that shit faded. They don't worry about getting pulled over. And the Asians did get paid, by the way. The Japanese got reparations. So, and I don't ever hear a Japanese person complaining about their jacked up past as an intern capped from the war and all that.
Well, and I think because, and the reason why I keep interjecting here, because I don't want to just gloss over it. No other race in America has gone through what Black people have gone through. So yeah, Japanese people were in internment camps and all of that, but they don't have the history that Black people have in America. Since we were brought over here, we've been going through something, whether it was slavery, Jim Crow, and all the stuff, mass incarceration. So I think it's a little unfair to compare them being okay now, opposed to us not being okay, because they don't have the history that we have with white supremacy, right?
Right. And the Asians got paid. Let me be clear. They got reparations, which helps. When you add money to a situation, it speeds up the process. So I definitely, as far as reparations, we need to get our check. When you work for somebody, you should get paid for it. And we have not been paid. End of discussion. So we need to get our money. And that's what our Black leaders, and I hesitate to call them that, because they're a bunch of Uncle Tom cooning, sitting up in Congress, hugging each other, having $400 dinners while the people still struggle.
Man, I can't even call them Black leaders. Back in the day, you knew who your Black leadership was. You knew who Dr. King was. God bless him. That was a Black leader. You feel what I'm saying? Medgar Evers was a Black leader. You know what I'm saying? Geronimo Pratt. Huey P. Newton, Black leaders. Name me a Black leader right now. One that's out there, got his feet 10 toes down, and ain't bucking. What's my man you talk about all the time from New York, Dimitri? The one that didn't give a damn?
Adam Clayton Powell Jr.
Black leader. Who we got?
You got Ellis.
Who do we have?
You have that brother Ellis.
We got a confused vice president. Because depending on which way the wind blow, that's what race she gonna claim today.
She doesn't have to be Black.
Kamala Harris is for Black people, that's niggerism.
She don't need to do shit for Black people. She don't have to. And it's clear she doesn't have to do anything. You don't have to do shit for Black people. We're the only people that will vote for you and not get anything from it because of our emotions. Oh, the Republicans are racist. So what? So are the Democrats. They all are. They do not want to give up their power. So until we act like Black Lives Matter, we ain't gonna have nothing. And Black Lives Matter, and in my opinion, you stack the money. Revenue equals rights. If you don't believe me, because I always get pushback on that, look at the Asian bill. That was all cash, 100% cash.
So I'm gonna shoot this down to the lower levels, down to Dimitri and down. Black Lives Matter, right? Have collected billions of dollars, supposedly for a movement, because it's not an organization. Where's this money? Where is money going? Why do we as Black people keep supporting a movement that ain't doing shit for Black people? Dimitri?
I think we first need to realize it's not a Black movement. That is not our movement any more than the NAACP or any of those other so-called Black organizations were for Black people. They're not. I mean, NAACP was started mostly by white people. And so was Black Lives Matter. And they got 3, homosexual women who advocate for that community and everybody else, right? So those aren't our organizations, but they know that we're just we're sleepy as Black people. They know we are cool with just the slogan Black Lives Matter. Nobody's really going to say, okay, now I know y'all raised a bunch of money. What are y'all doing with it, right? Because they know we just get the Negro symbolism, some T-shirts, BLM, and paint the streets everywhere they go, and then stroll them to the polls, and they going to be cool with that.
Donovan?
Skew it, we got to vote. Skew it, we got to vote. You got your boule out there doing what they got to do. Now, you guys know I'm more of a numbers guy and I'm more of a policy guy. The reason, and it's kind of crazy how they raised all this money. You guys gave all this money, thinking that this group represented you. But see, that's I think one of the biggest problems in the Black community. Demetra's dad and mom said it all the time. If you want to hide something from a Black person, put it in a book, put it in the contract, put it in the niggas ain't gonna read that. We ain't gonna read no contracts. That's why niggas are going broke. So you gave your money to this movement, and the way the laws are written, why do you think the rich people get away with so much? Donald Trump and all these people, because it is written for them to. Yeah, it is written for them to take advantage. The laws are written for them to take advantage of the tax code. It isn't written for poor people. It's written for rich people. That is why, like right now, Joe Biden wants to do an infrastructure bill, right? Amazon didn't pay one dime in taxes last year, but yet your Black ass, Asian ass, whatever your background is going to pay as your taxes go up. And we used to have a saying in the military when you're at the bar. When the poor guys got to pay the bar tab, y'all better get ready to wash some dishes.
Exactly. So every night they're going to enlighten you and tell you something that you can really use so you can wake up. I want to read Tanaya Smith's comment. Tanaya say, honestly, it's okay for her, I guess, or Kamala, to claim both sides. That's her makeup. We have to stop asking biracial people too. It really ain't okay, but in the world that we live in nowadays, we make it okay. We make it okay. The only time she claimed Black is when there's a Black issue that Joe can't seem to solve. And she gonna rock with the Black people then to keep the Negroes calm. Niggerism from the White House.
Yeah, let me just say this, Tanaya. I hear what you're saying, but the point is you got to pick a side. Just like there's a Republican and there's Democrat. You have to make a stance somewhere. You just can't sit the fence. You can't be this one day and that one, the next day. It's like being in the military. You can't be an ally of the United States and then be the Taliban tomorrow. You need to make a decision.
I'm on the fence to think that she can embrace both sides. So I actually did a video for the African Diaspora News Channel where it says that the Asians and the Indians want her actually to do more for them. They feel like she's touting too much of her Black side and not enough of her Asian and her Indian side, right? And so I don't mind if she embraces all, but I'm like, y'all mad that she's not embracing her Asian and Indian side, but y'all getting the work. Y'all getting the bills. We're getting the symbolism. So, like, which one means more? Getting bills and everything, or just somebody saying, well, I'm Asian, I'm Indian. She's doing for you. So, I was kind of confused with that, but I get it. They actually want her probably to denounce being Black and just come all the way on over, to her Asian side.
Yeah. Kamala Harris was good to get Black women and Black people to vote. That was it. That was her job, period. Because I watched her chew Joe a new one. She was so hard on Joe Biden. I was like, man, calm down, girl. He's a Democrat.
That his wife, Jill Biden, was so mad that on a call to her sponsors, she said that Kamala could go F herself behind saying that about her husband after all he's done for, for civil rights and all of that. And yeah, so she was pretty mad about that.
Well, what has he done? What has he done for civil rights? Can you tell me something Demetri Joe's done? I mean, maybe Walter though. Maybe Donovan. He's a great historian. Yeah. What has Joe done for civil rights?
Well, for civil rights, he's helped lock up mass incarcerated blacks and browns in the 90s on an unparalleled scale. That's what he's done.
I get it. The niggerism side of that, he gave us somewhere to stay when we didn't have nowhere to stay. So we got 3 hots in a cot. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, man. And here's the other problem with black people. We get too damn emotional. I want to be able to have a conversation with a black man and don't turn it into an argument. We can't disagree and you turn it to a nigga. It's like, damn, can we we are not going to get anything. First of all, you guys, forget anything. We need to take it. We need to own it. That's it. That's the end of it. It's not going to be anything else. You get $1, you put 30 cents away, period. And you put it somewhere where it's going to make you some money. Use your credit. But I talk about this shit all the time, building your credit. I don't get people, they don't want to hear that. Y'all want to hear about fix my credit, get the shit off that I did wrong, not build it, change the behavior so you can actually build wealth. Oh, she do credit repair. She can fix my credit, take me to a 550 to a 700. First of all, there's no such thing as going from a 500 to a 700 without doing something to it, building it. I promise you that. So we need to start being like, we deserve better and we need to treat each other better, right? And that whole Black Lives Matter movement was a diversion. Do you realize they'll pass a black bill and then turn it into a minority bill? And so now women are a minority. These people are like transvestites are a minority. You know, the people purple eater, they're a minority, but they'll slide it under the black bill. And that is the problem. Like when I found out that, like the Black Lives Matter movement, right? And so I'm like, okay, so the people that founded the movement, their campaign isn't about Black lives. It's about gay rights, which is fine. It's okay to have that. But don't call it Black Lives Matter. Call it what it is. I watched a Black Lives Matter commercial, Black Lives Matter commercial, and she talked about everything else. This, that, trans, like all these different rights. Not once did they even use the word black in a Black Lives Matter commercial. At that point, I told Black Lives Matter to kiss the crack of my black ass. Black Lives Matter.
Nor did they use black men. Nor did they say anything about men or black men.
Black Lives Matter movement wants nothing to do with the black man. Nothing to do. When you take the black man out of the picture, the family is fucked. Period. I know for a fact, me and my ex-wife, we did not get along. But when the shit got to the shit and it got hot, she would call me and be like, yo, you need to deal with this. Period. My daughter would tell you, I just hung up with my daughter, Brittany. She got to the point, my ex-wife was like, hey, you need to come. Like, you the father, you got it. When you take the man out of the house, it's a wrap. Period. And the Black Lives Matter movement is more detrimental to black men because I'm embarrassed when I hear the word Black Lives Matter because somebody else has to take up for me. I need somebody else to care for me and tell me my shit matters. No, motherfucker, my life matters because when I get money, I put it away. I tell my kids to invest. I teach my family. Right now, me and my sister, the one on the left, on the bottom, I'm getting text messages about a stock tip. That's what we was doing at 4:59 when Gary was asleep, talking about stocks. I mean, that is the shit that's going to get black people to the next level. No one cares about your black ass and your rights. They care about the revenue. Revenue equals rights. Period. And I tell you this, since we're talking about Joe Biden, let's talk about his calling, putting black people in jail. When you go to court, you got a speeding ticket and you sitting up there with 50 people, who are the people that go get their cases heard first?
People that got lawyers.
People with lawyers. What does a lawyer take? Cash.
Money. You got to have that money.
Because if you're in court on a speeding ticket and you don't have a lawyer, you'd be lucky if they call you before lunch. If you have a lawyer, your case is getting heard first, and you could be like, yo, man, my court's at 8:30. I'll see you at 10:15. Without a lawyer, you don't know what time you're getting out of there.
Well, Walter, wasn't an insurrectionist, went to the judge and said, I got a vacation in Mexico I have to go to, so I can't be doing this bond. And it was approved. She had a lawyer.
Ain't that some shit? She had a lawyer, right? So I think, man, Eric B said, don't nothing move but the money. I believe that. I don't care what it is. You can take your worst enemy and you can put money on the table and y'all can come to some agreement to better your lives, and chances are your problem will go away. I could cheat on my wife and be on camera butt naked with the neighbor. If my money is straight, she'll think about it before she leave. Do you see what I'm saying?
Just don't let her cook your food for a while.
Yeah, stay away from the hot grits. Grits cost money. So, Black people, we are an endangered species, and we are the hunter. We are hunting ourselves. I want to go to Chicago. It's a beautiful city. But when I tell people I'm going to Chicago, you know what the first thing they tell me? Oh, hell no, be careful.
Well, see, we don't have those problems in certain parts of Chicago. Only when you know, basically like most cities, you cross over the railroad tracks, then you in trouble. But you know, what is that, Donovan? The mile, it's where they have all
the river walk and
where it's all the high-end shops and stuff. Beautiful, but a couple of miles down.
Yeah,
well, you can
and as long as you
come to Houston and deal with that.
Well, you do it anywhere.
As long as you don't live on MLK Boulevard or MLK Street, you'll be all right in the Black neighborhood.
Well, wow! In all the cities, the MLK streets is fucked up.
It's
everywhere you go.
It's symbolism. They say, let's give the Negroes a street. We'll name them a street and we'll put it where they are. And then they'll be, then we're getting the street. But that's it. You're just getting a street. And now most MLK boulevards are being what? Gentrified.
Yeah. But it was always the most violent street in the city, MLK Street.
Now it's Milk Street, not Martin Luther King. So, you guys, let me finish my point from earlier. You don't believe that money and rights matter? We had the insurrection. How many Black people did you see in the audience? There was some, I'm sure. But it goes to what I always say. When you fuck with the money, people will protest. Black people, we ain't never stormed the Capitol. That was white people. They didn't get their way. That was their version of blowing up, burning down the Target. Because like burning down the Target, don't get them arresting your ass at the airport and ripping you away from your kids. So it's not that Black people are the only people that do that. All races do it. I've been all over the world, and in Turkey, in Israel, and these places, they will rip the city down. They do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just Black people. So I want to get that out of the way. But when people, they act the fool when they don't get their way. Anger management is getting what you want. Who gets angry when they're getting what they want? So what we need to figure out what we want and go after it. Like me, I'll tell you, I've had my ups and downs financially. We all have. But when I started treating myself better, my life got better. I just told somebody a few days ago, I don't want you near me. I don't want to be around bullshit, nigga shit. I don't want to be around people that aren't on the move. Because if I fuck with you and your broke mentality, then I'm going to be with you. Because when you take somebody on the move and somebody laying down, they meet in the middle. It's bullshit. Man, listen, black people, here's how we get better. Fuck the excuses. Anything short of death or disability, it don't matter. Oh, I ain't gonna make it today. My dog is sick. Fuck that dog. Like, seriously, you can't afford to have a dog. Sorry, Donovan. But like, seriously. Oh, my car broke down. You know goddamn well when you turn the key, there was a chance of your car breaking down. Like, don't hit me. There's no such as no excuse. You just didn't care enough to deal with it. It's okay to say, you know what? I don't care enough about myself to make moves. You know what I'm saying? I know people that sleep till fucking 12 o'clock. How do you sleep at noon unless you went to bed, you know, at 6 a.m. or something like that? But you went to bed at 10 and you waking up at 10? Come on, man. The white man ain't got nothing to do with that.
Hold on.
Shit.
No, man, you're wrong, man. Because they tell you that's the white man's fault they didn't get up, man. That's the white man's fault, man. They didn't get up, man. That's white supremacy, man. You know, somebody burnt a cross in their dream. That's white supremacy, man. That's why they didn't get up. They were scared to open their eyes. They thought it was going to be real. So they just slept a little bit longer. Every time you look around, and especially on the money blast, we ain't got the money we need. That's white people's fault. You know what I'm saying? It's white people's fault that we took all our motherfucking money and went to the casino and blew what we had. You know how many people I get sick of seeing on Facebook with these gambling addictions? You have a problem. You have a problem. You should be laying up in the bed with some Teddy Pendergrass playing with your old man or your old lady, but you at the motherfucking at the bus depot where they got all the buses going to the casino with your last $50. But that's the white man's fault. No, Walter, that's the white man's fault, man. That's what they say where I'm from.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the white man, and I'm going to say it like that, is not as a core DNA, is not going to change who he is. You expect a scorpion to not sting you. You heard the fable about the frog and the scorpion. Why you sting me? Because I'm a scorpion. That's my job. And I'll tell you, I don't know if the tables were turned. If white people were slaves and I was a slave master, I might be like, shit, I want them back. We got free labor. You know what I'm saying? We can do what we want with their women. Their kids work for us. We ain't got to pay them shit. And they don't care enough about themselves to do anything about it. And here's the other thing, you guys, black people, we got to own this shit too. There's a book that most people, I say it, they don't read it. It's called The Color of Money. Her name is Mersha. I got the book in here somewhere. She talks about the black banks and how even in 1990, in 2010, when Shore Bank fell, this is in a bank in Chicago, Obama City, him and Bill Clinton. Here's how much they cared about black people. They couldn't even save this black bank. When Freedom Bank, Jackie Robinson's bank failed, they couldn't even save that. And you know, a lot of it was government, but you know what a lot of the bank had said? Doing business with black people in the financial world is tough because they want favors. They want the Lord told you to loan it to me. They can't do fractional lending because we need the money right back. We need to take ownership of this. You guys, the white man is not going to say, oh, maybe his kids will. Yeah, cool.
And she talked about, too, during that story about the black banks that failed, they took a lot of black mortgages with them. And a lot of black businesses that couldn't recover because the bank just, went belly up. And the feds could have saved them, but they decided not to. So that was all calculated, too.
All calculated. So black people put money in the bank, and then the banks that controlled them loaned the money to the whites. Period. That's how banking worked in the black community. And when Shore Bank in 2010 failed, I mean, you guys, this is like recent. This is 10 years ago. A black bank fails. and they get the worst treatment. And then Goldman Sachs and all these banks take them over, and they get awards for saving the black bank. It's not a black bank. It's black controlled, where the few people control it, but most of the people that own it aren't black.
And the FDIC still is it controls the black bank. So it's not a black bank that's independent from the federal regulations. It's still under federal control.
Now, the niggerism on the banking side, especially in today's society, a lot of y'all just open bank accounts to get the overdraft. That's what you're doing. You open the bank accounts to get the overdraft. When the people tell you got $300 in overdraft protection, you think you just won. And go fuck up all your money, then use the 300 and get mad when them people take their money back. Niggerism.
Though, okay, if that's you and you're doing that on purpose, we need to put you. Here's what I would do if I was president. Like,
put them in the bucket.
I put them in the bucket, and all the crazy fools that don't want to do better, and put them in the ocean. Drop them in one of those whirlpools. Y'all go kick it with the fish. I tell you what, man, that's what the Russians do. That's what the Chinese do. You make a mistake in the factory, they used to line you up and shoot you in front of the workers. Like, when we start thinking like back in the Malcolm days, I can tell you, I used to go to the temple with my father, and I heard a brother say, cut his nuts off. Talking about somebody that screwed up. Like, he's a black leader. Cut his throat. Like, well, I'm like, wow. When we start treating ourselves...
In America, we living by those same philosophies. It just depends on what neighborhood you live in. Because if you're an entrepreneur on the block and you fuck up them boys' money, they come through and they execute you. So they live by the same creed in some of these black neighborhoods. So make sure you don't fuck up the church's money, because you're going to be dealing with some niggerism on the block.
I promise you, if every black person that's ever heard us spoke would save 10% of your money and put it somewhere. If you cannot save 10% of your money, then you're doing it ass backwards. Oh, I got bills. Let it go. My sister tell you I had a nice black Tahoe, black on black. It said USS Coulter, CLTR on the license plate. When the burden got too heavy, I told him to come get it. Come get it. F you, come get it. I'm not about to lose my mind over this material thing. But now, like every day, and I'm so sad I got into crypto, because now it's like it's 24-hour trading. So I'm like, damn, I can't ever sleep now. I'm up at 2 a.m. I'm trading crypto. Do you realize that 24 hours a day you can buy cryptocurrency? I cannot tell you which one is going to make it. I don't know shit about crypto, but I'm putting my money in it. I picked 8 to 10 cryptocurrencies, Shiba Inu one, and I got some Ethereum. I bought some ENJ. I bought some Cardano ADA, and I'm just spreading it across the board. All I need is for one of them to go. Like, I need one cryptocurrency to, like, I'm gonna give you the math. Black people, wake the fuck up, put down the BET, put down the Housewives of your mama to the left and the right. Stop watching these rap videos with girls talking about they got wet ass pee and all this stuff. Women, treat yourself better. When Tooted and Booty come on the dance floor, leave. Like, come on now.
No, don't do that.
Oh man, don't get me started tonight. Like, treat yourself better. When you get some money, put it away. Somebody earlier asked me, well, what if we don't understand?
You say put some money away, right? At least 10% of what you make. That's what you said earlier, right? So I like Pariah's comment. We'll give 10% to the pastor, but won't give 10% to ourselves. Niggerism.
Tooted and Booty, whatever. So listen. You have to get on the airplane when they say the oxygen mask comes down, you put yours on first. Period. It's got to be the same way with your life. You guys, let me tell you, I've been to a bunch of churches. And I go to church to get uplifted and to get the word and be inspired, and then I bounce. When the pastor start giving financial advice, that's when I tune his ass out. That's when I tune her out. You're not giving me Frederick Price financial advice, telling me to cash in my annuity for the Lord. Are you out of your mind? I'll slap the shit out of you and ask and wish Jesus would come down and do something about it. Like you are losing your mind. Like
Jesus ain't kicking it with some of these pastors, Walter.
Man,
Jesus is not kicking it with some of these pastors, man.
Man,
they got everything going on in the church but church.
Man, I'm writing a book called Nigger Rich, and I got the 4 pillars of destruction for black people. And the first one is religion. We use God to not, I need to pray on it. No, you don't. Just say you don't want to do it. You've been praying for financial freedom all your life, and now God sends somebody, and then you still want to pray on it. I told the client, she goes, what are you, a godsend? I said, hell yeah, I'm a godsend. You've been praying for somebody, right? Bitch, you sit up here with a financial planner that can change your life. And you want to pray on it after I just spent 2 hours talking to you? I said, I will lose my job cussing you out. You get your husband out of here too. He ain't said shit, you weak ass little man. Your woman doing all the talking. Y'all talking about money? Don't even get me started on that. Like, man, we need to grab money by the balls and move it. And until we do that, we ain't gonna be shit.
Some of us ain't got no balls.
Zero. Say what? Oh, well.
Some of us ain't got no balls, man. Just this is
by the hair.
Real, that they ain't got no hair on their balls either.
By the arm or whatever it is. I mean, like, don't you guys you don't need a lot of money. You just need a little. Do you realize I started my clothing line with my stimulus check. And I put it on the internet that I started my line. I started my business with my stimulus check. And my cousin gave me $500 to make some shirts for her. And you best believe, and she know, we made some money on the deal. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, there's no excuse. I don't know shit about the clothing business. My loft, it looks like the fucking Gap. I got shirts everywhere. I got machines. I got crickets that ain't shit. It's a hot mess up there. I'm walking over clothes. If I don't turn the light on, I might trip and break my neck down the stairs. But I was willing to take the shot. And some of y'all living with your mamas and you got peace of mind and you won't even pull the shot. You're a bitch when it comes to the money.
Yeah, now I want you to take a little break because you're on fire tonight. They loving you.
Man, don't even
we need to talk about
niggerism.
Yeah, we need to talk about niggerism when you're living with your mom.
Jody, with your mama.
Jody, my Jody. And y'all women out there dating these niggas living with their mom.
Okay, hold up.
You laying up with him at his mama house.
I don't have a problem if you live with your mama. Truth be told,
I got a problem with
alive, I would want to live with my mama. And I lived with my mama when my house burned down. I ain't gonna say who did it. But like, I lived with my mama for a couple of months. Ooh, that was tough. Lord have mercy. I couldn't wait to get the hell out. My mama had something to do every day, a to-do list.
But man, you what age do you need to stop living with your mama?
No, here's how it works. You have a big, like right now, I am building a property somewhere that ultimately I can put my kids and my family on. There's nothing wrong with living with your mom, but you need to turn the tables to where she lives with you, is what I'm saying, right? Because if my mom was still alive, knowing what I know now, I would have a house in the back, and not a little house, but, her own house where she can have her own stuff. And she just, I see her when I see her in the patio, she comes, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with living with your mama if you are doing something with the money that you're not spending in rent. But if you're living with your mama and you got an S5 and you ain't got no money in the bank, then you got a problem.
Well, no, let me say this here. Just rock with me for a second. So,
all right.
You're living with your mom. You're messing with this bad one, man. When Tooted and Booty come on, she lets it go. She busts it wide open. This how it would work if I was living. If I knew somebody that was living, I could imagine it. Just rock with me for a second. You done brought her up to the room, mama in her room, she resting, she watching the best of Monty Hall and all that shit that she watch as an old person. And all of a sudden she is squeak, 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 squeak. Nathaniel, what y'all doing up in that room, Nathaniel? Mama, we ain't doing nothing. No, Nathaniel, y'all sound like y'all doing some nasty shit. How you gonna live with your mama doing some nasty shit? That's niggerism.
Okay, maybe that is. I'm just saying, ain't nothing wrong with living with your mama if you working on your shit. Or I know people that live with their parents, but they got money stacked. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with you living with your parents. I wish, honestly, today that I could live with my parents and I could have my own part of the house where I can be me and my family, but then we could be stacking 50, 60% of our income because we live together. You guys, I know a lot of rich families
they
live together. Huh?
They not doing that. They not doing that. They just living on their mama because they don't want to pay no bills.
Well, that's ratchet. That's ratchet from the left to the right. I'm talking about, like, literally, my mom was still alive, and my father was more in tune to, you know, what I'm talking about. I would want to have a house with them, a giant house where they had their part of the house, I had mine. Because I know a lot of families that do that. A lot of families live together and they stack. One of my buddies owned an internet company, and he's loaded. And me and his dad was at dinner with a bunch of us. And he goes, "All right, son, I love you. I'll see you when I get home." I was like, damn, this fool still live with his father and he's rich.
I think what we also need to address too is that it's cultural for people to live with their parents, right? Especially the Asians. And there's a book, The Secret, Hidden Secrets of Oriental Wealth, that a good friend of mine, gave, and I've sent it to everybody that wanted it. And it talks about how they keep the elders in the home. Well, for one, not just for free babysitting, but they keep that wisdom around, and it passes it down to the children. And you know, they're more close knit, and it keeps the money in the house. But it says, you know, that we as Black people, we don't necessarily delve into that. You know, in Africa they do, but over here, my mama can't stay with me. I can't stay with my mama because we have that stigma. No, wait. But I'm not saying you living on your mama, you playing video games and you sleeping all day, and you know, mama's like take out the trash type of stuff. I ain't talking about that.
Well, I'm gonna say this here. That might work in the Asian community. It might work in the Latino community, Indian community. But United States of American Negroes, it ain't gonna work. Because 30 minutes after everybody get there, something gonna be missing. Somebody stealing something out of somebody's bag. Somebody that ate somebody's shit in the icebox. It ain't gonna work. And God forbid you fuck around and lay your wallet on the table, because it's over, game over. We can't live with each other because we're going to take from each other.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this real quick. You know, but that also is a phenomenon that goes into our culture as ADOS. We are the only group of people that incentivize young girls to get pregnant, and then we'll put you in a house. We'll do this. If you look at most Section 8 areas in the United States, why is there 3 generations of women living in that house? Why? And this is what they do to keep
the 3 generations of women living in that house, because you can count the money from the poll from the night before together. I'm telling you. I'm from a different world than y'all. I'm from Third Ward, Texas, the home of the original Butt Naked Club on Scott McGowan. That's where I'm from, Third Ward, Texas. And I'm telling you what go on in our houses. As much as we want to act like, oh, we got it all together. No, we don't. No, we don't. Walter come on here every Thursday. He spit jewels. This man that gave people advice that can help them buy houses just from this show. And you motherfuckers still tripping. You see what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say. If you're 35, 36 years old, living at your mama house, you ain't a man and you ain't a woman. If your mama paying your cell phone bill, you ain't a man.
And again, you know, I agree with it to a certain degree. Yeah, if you are completely leeching off of your parents, yeah, there's a problem, right? But you know, if you're living with your parents and y'all all working toward a goal, there's nothing wrong with that. Other cultures do it all the time, and that's how they are able to get ahead. That's why they own in the block while we renting the block, right?
I tell you what, you and Al over there, I got a couple of niggas I know. We come stay with y'all tonight. Can we come hang out with y'all tonight? Let's build our wealth.
How much money you got?
Al will fuck around and wake up and all the motherfucking screws on his fucking car, on the tires, the lugs, the Cadillac converter missing in the morning. I bring them niggas over there.
Well, you know, I got to know them, okay?
Well, we need to stop being them dudes and hanging out with them dudes. Black people, one thing we can do is we have to raise up. Like I spent my summers in South Central, and then I went back to Santa Barbara, whatever. When I came back to South Central, the hate was incredible. Oh, you speak proper, you speak white. It was just so much madness. And I was like, no, I'm speaking the language the only language that we speak. The language we understand in banking and school and finance. So we have to elevate. You guys, we are not the nigga-isms all. That is not us. Like, and you guys, by the way.
Well, who is these niggas running around here with this foolishness then? Because I see a bunch of you out there with the nice shirt and the ties and some nice respectable women like Demetra and Donovan and old 5-star. He got a little niceness in him. But they got some niggas out here, man, that's on some different shit. And I really think they done imported them motherfuckers. They've been going up there to space too much. And when they coming back, they bringing back some of these alien niggas. And they done repopulated down here on Earth. And shit is fucked up, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys listen, most black people do not behave that way. Period. That is media. I promise you, I have been around black people for a long, and I know very few people that behave that way. But then again, I guess it's your area of circumstance. We should be like more like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not all black, and I know a lot of black people do. They act crazy, but like, honestly, I don't believe most black people behave that way. Right?
I agree with that.
Well, I mean, I done been to all 50 states. And I run into a bunch of black folk that's on the other side of the conversation you talking about right now. Man, well, I'm being honest with you. It ain't nothing like country niggas too.
Well, I think a lot of it too is I think everybody has a tipping point. So let me say that. But I think if your stuff is together, you are less likely to act a fool. Because, like, take my money and let me get in a situation that's rough, I might have a little nigga-ism come out. You know what I'm saying? So the key is to put yourself in a good position. You guys, trust me, man, there's some, I don't want to flash back to to Buddy Love, but like, there's some stuff I've done I'm not proud of. I ain't never killed nobody, kidnapped nobody, not like that. But I come close. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was all tied to money. It was tied to money. Some of the closest situations, I'll tell you a true story. And I ain't gonna name no names, but when I was in the music industry, I had somebody giving me a hard time. And so my boy gave me a gun. And so he told me how to kill him, how to shoot him, how to do everything to him and get away with it. And I was like, I thought about it, I was like, it ain't that bad. I'll just work through it. You know what I'm saying? So when I've come to do the worst things in my life, it has been over money or something that had to do with money. Do you know what I'm saying? You will say the meanest thing to the people you love the most over a financial topic, period. So we need to address that. And then somebody asked me about the other 3 pillars. So one is religion, right? We use religion the wrong way. The other one is this fucked up school system. Get your kids out of the fucking school system. After 5th grade, they can move the fuck on. I don't know a word after 5th grade. I wanted to spelling bee in 6th grade. My sister would tell you because she was there, and I fucked up on the word annoyance. But I only use annoyance when I talk about my ex-women, not my ex-wife or my ex-girlfriends. That bitch was an annoyance. Actually, you shouldn't call women bitches. I apologize, but you understand what I'm saying.
Didn't James Evans get a job after a while with no education?
I'm just saying, it's hustle. You can
Washing
you can take a kindergartner and say, yo, you're 5 years old. Here's, you get the money, put it over here. You go buy this, you go buy that. And you keep doing that, and you stack, and you teach other people to do it, and you pay them, and you keep a spread off everybody that works with you. A fifth grader gets that. My son and all my kids have had their businesses. They've tried different things. And I always go back to my son, Miles, because this is that almost got me in the most trouble. We used to go to Costco, buy M&Ms, and he would flip them at school. And the principal called me in this office, was like, he can't do that here. I said, no, the problem is you're selling M&Ms for $2 to these fat ass kids, and he's selling them for $1. He's undercutting you. I said, as far as I'm concerned, he could leave the school system right now because he understands profit and loss, and you teachers up in here still don't get it. We don't need to, like, get your kids, like, instead of sending your kids to college, unless there's a trade, give your kid, instead of spending $100,000, give him $100,000 and tell him to start 20 businesses and put $5,000 each to one. All he needs or she needs to do is be successful once. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck school. My son Evan got accepted into Berkeley, full ride, no money out of pocket, 4.5. You know what I've told him? Go up there, get you some employees, network with the rich. Go, as soon as you got enough info, get the fuck out of there. Period.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna be serious. That I believe that the school system is only designed to dummy our children down. That's what I feel. Your child ends up in this building every day from 8 to 3 for 12 straight years, and it dummies them down. You know, you're not going to get the same education on the black side that you're going to get on the other side that's been proven. I don't have to look at the data. I go into the schools. I know what's in them schools. I don't even trust the data. They pimp the data. But how do we change the mindset of people? You know, the Nation of Islam has their own schools. You can homeschool your child. You see what I'm saying? To get them to a point where they can understand that some days the school system is not there for what it's there for. I mean, they're lying to us. We're numbers. We're data in their system. That's all it is.
Hey,
how do we get them to that point?
First of all, we need to understand the rules. A students teach. B students work for C students, and the D student owns the business. I heard a man say this, and I fell back, and I was kind of offended because I like teachers. But he goes, the D student is the one dumb enough to think he could start a business and make it work. The rest of the kids are too scared. You got all A's, but you've never been in the mix. You know where I got my education from in business? Taking my ass to school and walking to my father's shop at Your Auto Service and working with him till 10 to midnight at 5, 6 years old. I saw him talk to people. I saw him collect money. I saw him stack money because I used to wear his pants. I know for a fact when I got home, they had cash in them. I used to get me a Welch's grape soda, a tamale, and we eat fried fish, and we started all over again. And I know he was making cash. That's where I got my education from, about business, period. That's all there was to it. I didn't need to go to school to know that I need to go out, get money, and have my own stuff.
Well, I tell you this, that I was at a meeting one night, and this is real, where they were talking about the school system and what our children need to be doing in college readiness. So I say, why aren't y'all talking about entrepreneurship? That was my question in the room with all these people. The people from the school district said, we do not support entrepreneurship as part of being, part of our curriculum. We don't want to teach entrepreneurship. They want you to go to college and become a part of the system. And we need to teach our children entrepreneurship because, I mean, come on, Walter, you might get rich working for somebody, but you ain't gonna get wealthy. You gonna get wealthy when you run your own company and you doing what you need to do, because all you're doing is making somebody else wealthy.
Yeah, or you get wealthy when you own part of the company or when you work high up at the company. Let me go over the other two pillars real quick. So I got religion and schools as two pillars. The other two are entertainment and roots. Here's what I mean by this. If I see another black man outside of Medea, right, because that shit is funny, but like, and Flip Wilson, but like, we need to stop feminizing our men. Number one. Two, it shouldn't be like, when I turn on black TV, I just turn it off. I go, no, that's not what I want to tell my kids. That's not what I want. I like BET when they used to play music, not the shit shows they have on TV. Black women screaming at each other, black men sleeping with each other's wives and all the shit that we okay with. That entertainment is killing us. And now we have these black successful people in business. We need to be sticking it to them. We want better content and we will pay for it. See, the problem is black people, you won't pay for better content. If I say, hey, y'all, I'm doing a watch party on CNBC, there'll be 2 black people on there. But if we're watching The Housewives of the Nigga Next Door and his cat, everybody will be watching it. Or whatever that shit Puffy used to do. Go get me a cheesecake, nigga. We watch that. But you talk to black people about money and the face gloss is over. And until we deal with that, we ain't going to be shit. And the other pillar is roots. Let me tell you this. You go to your yard and you rip the roots from a tree, it's dead. And it's going to stay dead. And the tree ain't going to never grow without its roots. Black people, we need to understand where we came from. Period. We, before the cruise, we were over there chilling. Think about this, black people. When you think about the shit that we've gone through, black people, we were kidnapped. That's all there was to it. Like the Netherlands, the Spaniards, there's some cold people. There's nowhere that the European has not gone and left disease and illness. Google the Netherlands slave traders. They would cut the hands off of the kid if the man didn't pick enough cotton. That's some cold shit. Ain't no race ever behaved like that. I went to the Netherlands. When I went to the Netherlands, to Amsterdam, the tour bus driver told me, we have done some atrocious things to mankind.
Do you know they still sell the hands chocolates, chocolate replicas of hands that are, well, they're obviously not real hands, but they made chocolate and made them into hands, and that signified the hands that were chopped off. They still, to this day, they still sell them.
It's crazy.
So from a niggerism standpoint, all of y'all go and get your vaccination cards, and you're jumping on them cruise ships right now. What he trying to tell you, you fuck around and go get a one-way trip wherever you're going, because they gonna get you there and leave you there, and then you're gonna be dealing with some niggerism on a.
I mean, so when it comes to roots, we need to understand where we come from. And I didn't always understand this, period. But like black people, everyone knows that black people are the creator of life. I got a shirt upstairs that says Uncle Walter. That's my new name. Uncle Walter. Unc is the key, right? Because I come from the womb. I come from the original people. Everybody knows that Africa is where life started, but except for the people that came from there. So when you understand before the slave to cruise who we were, and we've made it through that, free labor, Jim Crowism, slavery, like kicking the black man out of the house, now Joe Biden and all the shit, and we still standing. Just imagine if we treated ourselves better, and we ain't gonna be shit until we save some money. Because when you look into the eyes of a person with no money, they're empty. They don't have shit. You could be walking down the street, walking to the bus stop, but have $50,000 in your investment account, and you'd be like, fuck it, I like riding the bus. It's a choice. It's like Kanye said, it's a choice. And while we're talking about Kanye, let me do this. I want to, everyone on listening to this, everyone on the planet should go listen to Kanye West and Joe Rogan's podcast. 3 hours. Dude, like when I tell people that Kanye is the most brilliant person I've ever met, that shit is for reals. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye West talked about the corona vaccine. People thought he was crazy. He goes, 1,000 black kids per day are killed in abortion clinics. That is 400,000 black kids. Fuck people. Black kids are killed every year in abortion clinics. He goes, fuck the pandemic in so many words. We have a pandemic and it's black kids, future offspring being murdered. That is what we're not talking about. He goes, people talking about me moving to this farm. You guys, if you Google Kanye West, his farm in Wyoming, it is mind blowing. He has a whole country to himself. He has his own food, water supply, electricity, cattle. He never has to leave his ranch and he will survive. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, and we come after this dude. And the problem with Kanye West is he doesn't get enough time to explain himself. So when he sits in front of a Joe Rogan, a white dude, by the way, and gives him 3.5 hours to plead his case, we go, oh shit, Kanye is brilliant. But the problem is people like nigga shit. They want Kanye said slavery is a choice. And he was 100% right. Slavery is a motherfucking choice. He wasn't talking about the cruise. People say, hey, put me on the ship and whoop my ass, master. No, he's talking about after the fact. Right now, black people are still slaves. Like you tell, like, okay, like we're still waiting. The fact that Joe Biden is president just tells black people how shitty we have become. Like Donald Trump is a piece of shit too, I get it. But you know what I liked about Trump is he's about the money. And I'd rather my neighbor be a racist, but every day he come by and put $100 in my mailbox. Nigga, here go your money, nigger. I'd be, hey, thank you, the honky. And we keep it casual. Man, y'all wait. Joe Biden's been in office like 200 days, if that. I can't even, what is this, May? January 20th? What is that?
Yeah,
February?
He's been in office about
20 days.
33 days. Yeah, 133 days.
Y'all ain't seen shit. Because, and I'm just talking about the Democrats in general, right? Like the Republicans are shitty too. Mitch and them are some horrible people. If Mitt, what's his name? Mitch McConnell had his way, black people be slaves. Don't get it twisted. They're all crooks. But wouldn't you at least want to deal with the money? Like I heard Trump say, who built the cages in the first place? Obama and Biden had 8 years and did nothing for criminal justice. And the honky, I'm just being funny, comes in and kicks it. Like, how does Kim Kardashian get a chick out of jail? Where's Al Sharpton and the black leaders? Why is this woman in jail? And why does an Armenian and a white dude have to get this sister out of jail?
Exactly.
Where's Black Lives Matter?
Exactly.
It's bullshit. It's a lie. The next time I see a Black Lives t-shirt, I'm going to kidnap their ass. Like, I want to see.
Don't say that.
Black money matters. Black lives matters when we say it does. Go to Chicago. Go to the neighborhoods where they need it. Y'all can miss me with that shit. And I get embarrassed when I see a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. You know why? Because I go, we don't need a handout. What we need is the money you owe us. Give us our reparations and let the true black leaders run the race. See what I'm saying? Without money, I don't care.
Here's a question I'm going to ask all three of y'all. It's an honest question. I just want an honest answer. Mm-hmm. With all of the white folk that have aligned themselves with Black Lives Matter, we've seen the protests, we've seen the press conferences. When is the last time you've heard one of them even open their mouths and say, give them their reparations and give them their money?
I'm going to answer that real quick. The minute that you start talking about the reparations, that's when they stop being your friend or they stop showing up to the rallies.
Reparations would get us off of the plantation in every way, shape, and form, right? And they don't want to do that. There's a dependency. Black people have a dependency on the Democratic Party because they have put themselves in a position to be our savior. So if they actually start talking about moving the ball for black people, well, then what else will they have, to get to wherever they need to go? They know black people are the fuel in their cars. Without black people, the Democrats don't win anything. So they'll never give us, they'll have a study. They'll try to pass a bill to get a study, but they'll never seriously talk about giving black people reparations.
Until the black leaders, which we need to, we're more black leaders than Al Sharpton. I heard Al Sharpton saying no justice, no peace. I was like, man, go cut your hair and shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? Like,
Sharpton, you the money man. Sharpton didn't have a problem with Trump when he was in business with him.
Hell no. They was counting
He had
the
a problem
money.
with Trump. Jesse didn't have a problem with Trump when he was in business with him. When they were making money off of him, it was all gravy.
Let me tell you this, man. When I played spades with my boys back in the days, if you had the Trump card, it was a wrap. Game was over. Go grab a drink, fool. It's over. People love Trump. It's when he came out and said who he was.
You done heard it in several rap songs where they just refer to stacking paper like Trump. Trump was the measuring stick when it came to money. But I have a problem with the black leadership that wants to go left on him. When you were in business with him, you didn't have a problem with him. You ain't have a problem with this dude, man. Then all of a sudden, he becomes president. You can't get that money like you talking about. Now he's a racist. He this and he that. See, I don't watch out for the Trumps. I watch out for these Negroes.
I mean, you guys, but it's over now. I mean, like, say what you want about Donald Trump. I don't like him as as his morals. I get it. But man,
Walter,
wait till these 11 million illegal immigrants get legalized and black people watch the shit we go through. When you have 12 million people that are in the shadows that come out and say, yeah, you are a nigga. And now we can legally say it.
Let me say this. I worked on a drilling rig for many years in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. And I'm talking about deep in the Gulf of Mexico. And most of the people that worked on that rig were white guys. That's who worked out there. They were from Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. You knew where you stood with them guys out there. You feel what I'm saying? So we had to live with them. We had to eat with them. And people would ask me every day, man, why you sit at that table with them dudes, man? Man, man, I know where I stand with them and they know where they stand with me. So all we do, we just sit out here, we talk about the business. I say, but dog, I would rather know where I stand with you, no matter what your beliefs are, than you be somebody who's disingenuous with me. So here's a question, Dimitri. You're standing at the bus stop every morning to catch the bus. White guy walk up to you. He look at you funny one morning. You just like, okay, whatever. The next morning he walk up, he bump into you. Maybe that was a mistake. The next morning he walk up to you, he step on your foot, squish your foot real hard, look you in the eye and call you a nigga. You know what? I could work around you every day because I know where I stand with you. I know where I stand with you. And that's the difference between a Trump and a Joe Biden. Trump gonna tell you what it is and don't give a damn if you like it or not. Joe Biden gonna fuck around and play with you and not look at what we got.
Yeah, and funny you bring that up because there's a lot of race soldiers in the military, right? And a lot of you guys will say, well, how could you get along with these guys? Like you got race soldiers in the police department, right? We know where we stand with those folks. Like I said, I'm not going to their house. They're not coming to mine, but I know where I stand and they know where I stand. And, and that's the difference. But when you guys live, when we as Black people live in these unrealistic, and when I say unrealistic, like these fantasy communities, and we think, well, all I see is Black, and I'm skewy in at the Black colleges. There's no white folks. We're the dominant thing. That's not real. The real world is the real world, and these race soldiers are out here, and now they're doing the business.
We have been had, like Medea said. You have been had. It's a wrap. It is, you guys. I tell you, the Black race. If we don't do something right now, we are done. Because next, It's going to be, now we got the Asian crime. Then it's going to be the Latino crime bill. You call a Latin person a name, and now your ass is in court for a misdemeanor because you used a Latin slur.
And Joe gonna sign the bill into law. So, we honor requests as they come through, with the comments. And, I made a song, man, and it went wood grain. So I want to remind y'all, I told y'all before the election, and I just want to sing a little piece of it for you, and y'all sing it with me. Joe Biden gonna hit you with the dick. Joe Biden gonna hit you with the dick.
Okay, I haven't heard that song yet.
Yeah, and real quick, a little bit about the Asian crime bill. Basically, what that bill does is if an Asian is getting hit across their head and you stand there and basically do nothing, you can be charged with a crime for not either reporting or trying to help out. So now they're telling you that you have to come to their defense if they're being attacked and things of that nature. So basically the bill is saying you could be liable. There is nobody in this country that needs an anti-hate bill than Black people. It is so sad that you guys were duped, and we told you 3 years before this shit even went down.
Well, I tell you what, man. No, go ahead. I was going to final thoughts, Walter, but go ahead.
We need for our lives to matter, and we need to treat them that way. What's done is done. Joe Biden's in there, and regardless of who's in office, Black people are always going to be on the short end of the stick. But what we need to do is take responsibility. We need to stop asking these politicians for something that they're not going to give us. Like, our closest thing was Ice Cube. He was right there. He had Joe Biden on the ropes, and Black people let Joe, they gave him ding, ding, ding. They gave him the 8 count. Ice Cube had Joe on the ropes. And, man, Joe was about to say uncle, and y'all let him off the hook.
Black women.
So, Black women, right? I guess Black women probably vote more than Black men. But, we had, and we shit on Ice Cube. And I guarantee you, Ice Cube is not he don't have a Trump shirt under his shirt. But but people shit on him. And we do that to real Black leaders. And I call Ice Cube a real Black leader because he came from the streets. He started a business. He's done cool things. Same with Kanye. Do you guys realize that Kanye West built homes for the homeless? You never hear about that, though. You want to hear that he's crazy and bipolar, but you don't hear about the real Black leaders. Do you know what I'm saying? So we need to start treating our lives like they matter. We don't need somebody that's not Black to tell us that Black lives matter. We need to go to Chicago and Atlanta, wherever these LA, and tell Black people, stop killing yourself. Hey man, listen, I'm gonna take my ass into the store and I'm gonna come out and I don't want no trauma from you, brother. That's where they should be.
The white man said, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The Pioneer said the other day that I didn't expect a no good racist politician to do anything. Pioneer, I want to tell you this here. That's a good comment. But I want to remind you, I don't expect a no good Negro politician to do nothing for me. Which one of them is supposed to work for us?
And you can't say shit. You cannot, when I was growing up in finance, and I went to this meeting, and it was me and the dude I was with, and we were both Republicans, and everybody else was Democrats. And somebody found out we were Republicans, and they just went off. Like, how could you be a Republican? And I was like, really? We are finance dudes. We are here to talk about money. And you know how you take care of the Black race is you give them some money and tell them you tell them what to do with it. You guys, our kids are fucked as Black kids. They are doomed. Fucked. When I say fucked, they are worse than we are. Most of our Black kids can't see 2 nickels and figure out it's 10 cents. And you can't say shit to them. Man, me and my kids, we argue so much over this shit. Man, because I believe it. When we get the money in control, stop asking for shit. We are not Oliver Twist. They're not giving us shit. If we were going to get reparations, it would have been with Obama. And he didn't even have the power to do it. Period. So we're not getting reparations. It's a shit show. So what we can do is repair ourselves. Do we need reparations? Yes. But us talking about them is a fucking fallacy. Because they're not happening tomorrow. Next year, even if it went on the ballot, it would be 30 years before they voted on it. So if we know reparations aren't coming, why in the hell do we still keep talking about them? We need to repair ourselves. I repaired my credit. I paid my shit on time. I built my credit, and I started stacking some money. And I told my sister, when you call me, let's talk about money. And so we talk about cash. And now all of my family members, they have more money than they did before we switched to the subject. Because my sister gives me stock tips. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. Donovan told me about Shiba. I bought that shit, like 30 million shares. You know what I'm saying? I just needed to go to a penny, brother. It's a wrap. That'd be like, what happened to Walter in the war zone? Oh, he's surrounded by 10 Ethiopian women, and we can't even say where they went. But like, he ain't coming home.
Final thought, Donald.
Well, again, I agree with Walter, but I kind of disagree because it's like when your parents go into probate and they got all these bills that they got to pay, and the state hits them to probate. Do you stop asking for your inheritance? No, you don't. Now, are we going to get it? That's another issue. But I don't think we should stop asking for it because it is something that is owed to us. So, but I'm going to end with this in the words of the great Steve Biko: Black people, we are on our own. And if you guys don't realize that by now, nobody's coming to save us. You will not be saved. And just like Marcus Garvey says, some of y'all, you ain't going to be good over there. You definitely ain't no good over here. And you're not going to make the boat. So,
final thoughts, Ms. Demetrio.
Jesus.
I like to quote John Henry Clark when he says, "We have no friends." Okay, we have no friends, and we are all we got. All we can depend on is ourselves. And as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we need to do for self. We're capable of doing for self, but like Walter said, Black Lives Matter has to matter to us. Period. Can't expect everybody else to uphold us when we don't uphold ourselves. And so that's what I got.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, Hill. Go ahead, Walter. Final thought.
My final thought is you need to improve your relationship with money. On the podcast I was doing earlier, she said having money is your husband or your wife. It's your relationship. Money needs to open the door for you, ladies. Money needs to support you. Money needs to have your back. The relationship you have, your money needs to do things for you. Some of you guys are dating Ike Turner of money. He is whooping your ass, and we need to switch the relationship up. Period. Treat your money like it's your husband or wife that you care about. And what would you do differently? Or if it was one of your kids, treat money like a relation. Like, see how Donovan's loving his cat? You might as well paint that cat green. That's the money cat. I guarantee you can't mess with his cat, not without getting cut up. So when we like Black lives, like he loves that cat, we'll be a better people.
Well, my final thoughts are simple, man. Sometimes you got to do shit a different way. And I get everybody, everybody seems to have a solution to the problem. But this whole black thing and us dealing with stuff the way that we do it is like losing weight, man. Okay, we know what we need to do. So when we going to start? When we going to start? When we going to start doing what we need to do? But I tell you what, until you figure it out, just sing it with me, man. Joe Biden gonna hit you with the dick. Joe Biden gonna hit you with the dick. 16 inches long and 8 inches thick. Say we the best in the business, man. It's the war zone. I want to thank my good friend Walter Couture, my man Donovan Sadiq, the Queen Demetria K, and I am the 5-star general. Until tomorrow night, we'll holler at you. 9 inches long and 8 inches thick. Joe Biden gonna hit you with it. We'll holler at y'all.